Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sandisk SHOUTcraft Invitational. We're having a lot of fun here. I certainly hope you are too. My name is Totalbiscuit, joined by the Master of Analysis himself, Mr. Artosis.
Oh man, this has been a ridiculously good day already. Like, if we just ended it right now, we're like, that's it, guys. It would still have been an amazing day of StarCraft with some nearly flawless games, as well as some sloppy, aggressive games, which, as aggressive games always go, are sloppy. Fantastic. But the fact that we are now in game number 3, Flash against Hero, where both of them played pretty flawlessly before.
Damn.
I have no idea the way that this is going to go.
I can't call it. I cannot. I lack the ability to do so. These guys are playing out of their minds at the moment. And really, you can't necessarily blame Flash for falling to the flawless host of CJ Hero. It was so well executed. Like, I don't see any Terran on the planet surviving in that situation. No. You've got to somehow catch him out early, but he wasn't able to do it.
No, certainly not. It was something else, man.
It really was. Now, how is it going to go? The decider is here, ladies and gentlemen, to the southeast position. The man who played a flawless game 1 and then had inflicted upon him a flawless Protoss game 2. Can he bring it out under pressure? He is so good at that. In the blue trunks, to the southeast position, playing Terran, Katie Rolster's Flash.
And in the top left of our map, playing a game that, well, if that were the game that you watched today, you would go home thinking Protoss Imba. It is CJ Entis Hero.
I often come away from CJ Entis Hero games feeling Protoss Imba, honestly. He is just that good. You know, there's only a couple of Protoss that are on his level. People like Zest, people like Parting. But they are, when I say on his level, that's what I mean. I'm not talking about, he's a little bit behind them. No. He is on that level.
I mean, you have to put Hero right about top 3 Protoss in the world. You know, there's just a handful of names that you can really talk about and be like, these are the best. These are the best, right? There's like, maybe there's 5 of each race that can be argued. And pretty much everyone in this entire SHOUTcraft is one of those players.
Yeah, they're top. They're absolutely top-notch in every respect. And I don't know if I can call a group of death here. I mean, maybe Group A is slightly stronger, but only very, very slightly. And I think historically, you could certainly argue for Group B, maybe even currently.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, most fans, most StarCraft enthusiasts would look at it and say Group A is the group of death. But I mean, if you look at it, StarCraft 2 historically, anything with DRG in it can be argued as the craziest, right? I mean, that guy has done so much.
Yeah, and Liquid Hero is also maybe the most annoying Protoss on the planet. Like, he will bring it out when it's not expected. He is able to bring flawless games, and his micro is infuriating. I remember watching him versus Jaedong at IEM Cologne, and just screaming as his Immortal micro with his Warp Prism was basically perfect. It's like, how do you beat that?
Yeah, he was parting before parting was cool, man. Like, he's the hipster parting or something. Like, just unbelievable in his control, and he's won quite a few tournaments as well.
Flash with the eBay block, getting a little bit cheeky here, gets it up to almost full health before Hero realizes and is able to react, and then brings the Reaper as the follow-up to really start laying down the pain on that Zealot, but the Mothership Core is up at the right time. Well, any chance of Nexus first certainly gone now with that eBay going down. Flash says, you know what, I want to dictate this economic pace, and that seems to be the way that I can win.
I think that was actually a pretty smart call by Flash. Once you look at that game, I think he probably, took that break and thought about it a little bit and was like, oh my god, what was I even supposed to do there with a Reaper opening against a perfect Nexus first? There was literally no timing in that game that I looked at and thought, oh, Flash can do something here. But Hero was completely tight the entire time, so to block that, really smart.
Very true. What I will say about eBay blocking a Protoss is it's kind of like poking a bear with a really sharp stick. It can be effective if you wish to move the bear. The problem is the bear every now and again decides to move towards you, and he's not pleased. And in the case of Protoss, that can be a Twilight Council, which is what we're seeing here from CJ Hero.
Well, you call that quite well. I mean, this is a build that I feel like Hero is kind of known for a little bit. You know, when he was really having his kind of dominating streak, he did a lot of Blink builds, and he's very, very good at them. Will Flash be able to defend against this? Because this is a pretty good map to do a build like this on for Hero.
Will he be able to scout it more to the point? He might get in. No, it's not a terrible Reaper map. You might get in, but it looks like he's not able to for the time being. He may decide to scan. A scan would catch the Twilight Council very easily. It's in a pretty predictable position.
Yeah, that's true. If he just does like a central scan, that would see it. But I guess, you know, that's part of what Protosses do to mess you up, is sometimes put it central, sometimes put it on the fringe.
Yeah.
The Reaper trying to get back in, but not quite able to.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he doesn't know quite yet.
No, he doesn't. And he has a bunker. That's not enough to hold this. Not a terrible Blink map, not the best in the world, but it does have that fairly wide open left side next to the ramp there. And I think Flash is definitely smelling it, because he's about to place a bunker right there.
Yeah, is this bunker fast enough? I think it is. Yeah, you know, I think he wants to wait for maybe one more round, but the Marine comes out. He verifies what's going on. Now he knows for sure what's happening.
Yeah, nice to pick off the probe, make sure there's not a second pylon put on there. The bunkers are probably going to get done. I don't know. He's blinking right on top of it right now. And the Time Warp is put down as well, but there's a decent Marauder count there. The bunker is starting to get completed. If he can just finish it, a couple more seconds will give him that bunker. The blink comes off, the bunker is done.
Oh, wow. Good thing he finally did get the bunker done and get those units in there that was starting to go bad for him.
Yeah.
Hero's already done some reasonable damage, but I think Flash is going to stabilize here.
I think so. Unless, of course, he lets those bunkers die. One goes down. It's not where you want to be. He does still have that second bunker and a few Marauders as well. And just a couple of little nice pickoffs there. But that's a lot of very, very injured Stalkers. And I have to wonder how long Hero continues to commit to this. Obviously, he's forcing a ton of wasted mining time, but he's got to. I mean, he's 10 Harvesters behind.
And don't forget, this is a little bit all-inish from Hero. He doesn't have any probes at his natural. He's pretty low, so he needs to break through right now. Flash with some great repair. A nice Time Warp slowing him down, and he does blink into the main.
But he's going up against a lot of Marauders. There are 4, and those are very badly injured Stalkers, and he loses a lot in the process. And Hero plummets to 36 supply. And again, still a lot of wasted mining time, but Hero doesn't have an economy behind this. He's only just started to build it. When behind, go Dark Shrine once again. Whoa, Flash! Well. The bunker is not your enemy, it's your friend.
I don't know what he was thinking there, but you know what? He's basically held on at this point.
Yep.
Hero needs to get lucky to win from here, I would say, right? Because he's got 26 probes only. He's just now starting to mine from his natural base. That's a tough situation to recover from against Flash, even though he ended up killing... I mean, he killed 6 workers. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but he's so far behind in terms of workers. And this DT Gambit, with so much energy saved here by Flash, I think he realized, like, look, that was a failed Blink Stalker roll in. There's no way you have economy behind that. So you might try something dodgy. There comes the missile turret. Scan energy is still available. So I don't know where Hero goes from here, honestly. Flash is looking great.
Yeah, this really does look good for Flash. He's playing it so smart, as you say. Saving a little bit of scan energy. You know, he's just teching up to his medevacs, getting a missile turret. Doing everything exactly as he should right here. And I think Hero is starting to realize that, you know, this is even more dire than he thought since that turret's already up.
It really, really is dire. You know, he's now got to, I feel, defend several harass attempts very efficiently, and then maybe backstab if possible with Blink Stalkers. He wants to go, oh, he's going to try and shut down that missile turret while he notices the scan energy on the natural isn't actually there. Flash felt safe, and he was incorrect. That was a lovely move by Hero. How much damage can Hero actually do with this DT?
Yeah, you're right. That was actually really well done. A very brave move by Hero, but he knows it's really his only chance. Oh, blinks in the wrong direction.
Ouch.
Oh, so painful.
Very much so. More Stalkers going down. Flash's medevacs getting a lot of work done today. They're certainly earning their pay. But the DT has now been cleaned up as a scan goes in there. Only like 1 worker killed and some wasted mining time and a couple of Marines going down. It's not enough, Hero. You're going to need to pull out way more tricks from your bag here.
Yeah, but you know what? He's caught up in the worker count, which is pretty good for him. He's starting charge. I don't know if that's going to come to fruition. But he's also grabbing a forge, making some sentries, basically making units that may allow him to stay alive as Flash does this death march across the map.
Yeah, and Flash is not going to allow Hero to just sit back and get back into this game. He knows he's defended that Blink Stalker Lane about as well as anyone could have. He knows he's in a great spot. He also knows his combat shield is about to be done, which will be absolutely crucial here. Defensively, we're looking at 4 Stalkers, 3 Sentries, and a Mothership Core. Maybe the best that Hero could possibly hope for is to just hold this back for a while.
Yeah, you know, maybe zone out with that Mothership Core. Of course, there's the threat of a DT, so maybe Flash has to save an extra scan or 2. Yeah, it's pretty tough for Hero, but he's doing a good job about it, right? He's adding a lot of gates. He's got his economy kind of going. He's getting charge and some upgrades.
Yep.
But this is, like, really deeply Flash favored. For Hero to win this, he's going to need almost a miracle here. He's down 30 supply.
Yeah, Flash is buttoned up as well. He knows the 3rd is vulnerable to DT harass. He already shot that down. He gets good fire and takes down a sentry very quickly. He's going up that ramp. Nothing's going to stop him. There is no force field energy. And Flash smashes the natural ramp. Goes all the way up into the main. A DT comes in, a couple of DTs, and that will certainly help since Flash has really been stimming those units hard, but the amount of damage he was able to do just with that push alone was, in my opinion, worthwhile. He drops them down, realizing, there's nothing else to defend this.
Well, a few Stalkers come up, and these units are badly bruised with low medevac energy, but still not going to be quite enough. Some Zealots to warp in, and I think that'll be enough to finally chase Flash out, but the damage has been done, Totalbiscuit.
It definitely has. You know, he plowed up that ramp, took out all of the high gas units. There's so few. The scan goes down to eliminate that 1 DT who will not be a hero today. The Marauders tank the Zealots, no problem at all. There's only 2 Stalkers left on the map. There is no Photon Overcharge, no Mothership Core. Flash going for the smash here at the natural expansion, and a brave blink indeed, but I think that's just the charge of the Light Brigade there from Hero. There's the GG, and Flash goes through to the winner's match and puts doubts to rest.
Well, he's now won a best of 3. This is looking pretty good. But next, he's going to have to go up against Life. And I do have to say, I think that Life is like the antithesis to Flash or something like that, right? He's like this very aggressive, in-your-face Zerg that always wins best of 3s. So this might be Flash's downfall. I'm not so sure.
It could be. It very well could be. I'm glad to see that Flash is bringing his A-game, but, you know, we saw his TVP, and his TVP's always been pretty good. His TVP in Pro League is fantastic. He often has to face top Protoss. He beats them down pretty effectively, but Life is just terrifying, especially against Terran right now. If anyone was going to kill Life off, it would probably have ended up being Hero, but Hero might not even get a chance to touch him at this point. Especially with Hero now going down to face off against Innovation in the lower bracket. And it might be that Life is able to take 2 ZBT in a row.
Yeah, that's, I feel like that could be the case. This group is actually shaping up really, really nicely. Even with that losers match, like, Innovation and Hero actually played in Code S already this season. And Hero actually beat him. So that's quite a good little rematch as well.
It absolutely is. You know, I don't think there's a bad combo for this group, or indeed any of these groups, especially if these guys keep playing at their fullest potential. We're not seeing any of these guys so far playing badly. They brought their A-game. Obviously, someone has to lose, but these have been very close series, and we've seen impeccable games from pretty much everybody up to this point.
And that's really good to see, because to be perfectly frank, like, I watch all the online qualifiers and stuff, but in online qualifiers, these guys just cheese each other basically every game.
Yeah.
So this is like a lot different. We're actually seeing real macro games, real strats going on, and it is refreshing as hell to see this in an online tournament.
Absolutely. Really, really good. Now, of course, we get to enjoy the winner's match. We'll be taking a short break before we do that, but it's going to be the rematch of one of the hyper series of all time, Life versus Flash. I remember it
Mm-hmm.
from that one amazing MLG.
The semis, I believe.
It was.
Sick.
Yeah, I think it was MLG Dallas. It was that huge event as Heart of the Swarm had just kicked off. Everyone was super hyped. And Life versus Flash definitely did not disappoint. Life, of course, took that. But this is a very different era. Very different indeed. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the winners match. Who will go on to day 3? To the round of 4, get a bunch of money in their pocket, and of course, transition to the best of 7 format. And who will fall down to be the final contestant in this group to face the winner of Innovation and CJ Hero. We'll find out after the break, folks. This is the Sandisk SHOUTcraft Invitational. And here is a word from our sponsors. Hi, my name's John Bain, and it's my pleasure to thank Sandisk for bringing us top-notch StarCraft 2 entertainment at the Sandisk SHOUTcraft Invitational. When I'm not casting StarCraft 2, it's my job to critique PC games, and to do that, I need the best hardware. One of the best upgrades that you can get for your PC gaming experience is a solid-state drive, so I'd like to encourage you to check out the Sandisk Extreme Pro SSD. It's engineered for super-fast read and write speeds and consistent high performance 24/7. What does that mean for your games? Faster load times, faster boot times, faster install times. Less downtime, more game time. Plus, they're easy to install, run cool, and are both virtually silent and energy efficient. If you're worried about reliability, no need. Sandisk backs it all up with a 10-year warranty. Game without limits when you step up to the consistent high performance of Sandisk Extreme Pro. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you back to the Sandisk SHOUTcraft Invitational. And we have the winners match coming for you, and I gotta say, I was a bit biased, and I was hoping that this would happen.
Well, I think pretty much everyone was probably hoping for that, because if a TVT came up, none of us would know what to do. We haven't seen that for a while. Flash versus Life. These guys, I don't think they've played in quite a while. The last one I remember is at the beginning of Part of the Swarm. It was pretty epic. This should be a fantastic match, Totalbiscuit.
I have no doubt that it will be. Both of these guys are doing well. Of course, we've seen both of them fall in the GSL quite early on, which is surprising considering the level of play, but it is the GSL. It's the hardest tournament in the world, and it is the highest caliber of play. The weird thing about Korea is we say, oh, these players are amazing, and then we can say, well, there's 40 others that are as amazing. That's how cool it is. So I have no idea who's going to come out on top here. I maybe give the slight, very slight edge to Life going into this.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I have to give a slight edge to Life. I think that his aggressive style matches up pretty well against Flash. Flash is just a little bit predictable in StarCraft 2, I think, and he really likes his macro games, so I think that Life is going to bring it to him early and often, and it could be a little bit tough for Flash to end up winning the whole series.
Yeah, I certainly think so. We're going to kick it off on Overgrowth, which was Life's choice, and then we had King Sejong, which is Flash's choice, and then, of course, the last remaining map after the vetoes was Habitation Station.
Ooh, I love watching Life on that map. That's a Life map right there, man. I certainly hope this goes to game number 3.
I hope so. I really do. The last thing I kind of want is a stomp. Flash is obviously playing very well, so as long as he keeps up that caliber of play, we should be in a really good spot. Let's hope that it does remain that way. Looks like these guys are about ready to kick it off, and I certainly am as well. This is already proving to be a great event, and we still have 3 more best-of-3s to go.
Yeah, you know what? This map, Overgrowth, I guess we can talk about for just a second. It's for TVZ. We were talking about it before, how it's like the 4th base is pretty far away. It's pretty hard to pressure. And I mentioned that, I kind of like mech here. I think it's a pretty good strat. And Flash actually agrees with me. I've definitely seen him go mech here at least once or twice. So definitely could be something he pops out against Life. And if he doesn't take damage against Life early on, I feel like that could be a good choice.
Yeah, I hope that we do see that. And he is the kind of player that can pull that stuff out. And that's great. It's awesome for the ZVT matchup, just to see exactly what's going to be happening with that. It just plays out in such a different way to the Ling, Baneling Muta versus kind of Biomine style. Even if they have been throwing in a couple of Hellbats here and there, it just ends up being a whole different ballgame when we get to see that happen. The Zerg has to adapt in a really big way. We see a very different kind of ZVT.
And you know what? Flash, I guess we haven't seen him TVZ all that much recently, so maybe we can see some different strats coming out of him. Like, maybe this guy is going to go for some Hellbat drops early on. He definitely liked those back about a year ago before they originally got nerfed. And, with this new kind of buff that we have, definitely could see that instead of just the normal play that we seem to see all the time in TVZ.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to be going into the game momentarily, just waiting on Life. He's not quite ready yet. And Life has just been looking pretty god tier in terms of ZVT up to this point. Really impressive.
I feel like he looks god tier in all the matchups, generally speaking.
Yeah.
He had a tough night a couple nights ago against Paralyzed specifically in ZVP, but I mean, that was some really solid play. That was probably the best play of the Afro Toss's Life. So
no doubt.
I'm not going to chalk that up to too much for Life. I really do feel like he's going to come out of this group. It's hard for me to imagine that even if he loses here to Flash, either Innovation or Hero is going to come up and be able to knock this kid out. I feel like he's one of those guys you can always bet on, and you're going to be right most of the time.
Yeah, I think so. Flash at the moment, his current form is he's only actually won 1 out of the last 4. Actually, never mind. Sorry, I was reading the completely wrong strat. He's actually won 11 out of 17 of his last TVZs. Pretty good.
Wow. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice form indeed. Life's form against Terran. Currently, actually not as impressive as you might think. I mean, we've been talking up his ZVT, but actually, in his last 13 ZVTs, he's only won 6 of them.